behalf of Knight Frank, I'd like to say thank you to all the operators that have once again contributed their data. Our 8th annual review of care home trading performance is our most comprehensive to date, capturing over 80% of the UK corporate market. According to our index, the UK occupancy rate fell slightly to 88.9% in the last financial year. Elevated fees may be discouraging sub-admissions, but the marginal fall is down to changes in the composition of our index, rather than the sudden let-up in demand for care beds. Average weekly fees are up 8%, reaching £837 per week across the corporate market, with the cost of delivering care increasing every year for both the personal and nursing sectors. Many operators have adjusted their fees to crucially maintain standards of care. Staff costs increased for the 8th straight year and now represent on average 58.6% of care home income. A further hike in the national living wage and growing dependence on agency staff continue to fuel the outlay in staffing. Property costs also increased more than usual, with rising utility bills and required maintenance and repairs both contributing factors. Escalating costs continue to impact earnings, with EBITDA as a percent of income falling to an average of 27.4%. We mustn't let this detract from the strong trading performance evident across much of the UK, especially in the private pay market, where EBITDA margins range from 30 to 45%. Homes reliant on local authorities for funding are seeing tougher trading conditions, as shown in this year's analysis. Exceptional growth in the private pay market for elderly care has occurred alongside one of the fastest growing specialist housing markets in the UK, senior living. Let's find out more about Knight Frank's latest analysis of this sector.
For this market-leading research, we have engaged with key private senior living operators who account for more than 75% of all private units delivered since 2000 in schemes with more than 20 units. This research covers both age-restricted housing and independent and assisted living across England for both the for sale and growing rental markets. Using this data, we have identified the key metrics most relevant to investors and operators in the sector. These include the demographics that underpin this growing sector, the current and projected supply landscape, relative sales and rental performance by scheme composition, service offering, and care provision. A comprehensive sales index analysing senior living and residential house prices. Average length of residency by product offering, and an analysis of unit mix and amenity provision in relation to achieved pricing. This research is a comprehensive database aimed at increasing transparency for both operators and investors alike. Access to good quality data in an evolving market is critical to investment decisions and necessary to support the forecast future growth in this sector.
Finally, let's remind ourselves that the UK is preparing for a future where 1 in 4 people will be over the age of 65. Our surveys in both the healthcare and senior living markets aim to give operators, developers and investors the insights to capitalise on the opportunity ahead. And once again, a huge final thank you to all the operators that participated in 2019. Without you, the research would not be possible.